How's it going, guys? This is Shane.
Hey, and this is the Burf. We're here live on our
In
first
our
podcast
basement.
ever.
Oh,
I'm excited. How about you, Shane?
oh yeah, I'm excited.
Definitely. So, what's going on today?
Oh, not much. Just got off. How about you?
Well, I'm off work right now, but I've been enjoying my day, and um, this is always cool to talk to you and hang out with you, man, and having a good time.
Yep.
And so,
So you want
what's new, man?
to with you?
Not a whole lot. Just hanging out down in the basement right now,
Down in your mom's basement.
down in my mom's basement.
There you go. Same here.
Yeah, always good living at home, rent free.
Oh yeah.
So, I can remember a story you told me one time about a nice paranormal event you had happen to you. Because you're a ghost hunter, right?
Yeah, I ghost hunt. I wouldn't say I'm like an extreme ghost hunter, but I would.
Amateur.
Yeah, amateur.
Yeah, same as me. But I remember you telling me a story a while back, and I thought it was very interesting. I thought we could share it with the the crowd here.
Yeah. So this is back when I first got just started ghost hunting.
Mm-hmm.
We were over there was always a legend in my small town of a witch buried in this graveyard.
Oh yeah, you always got those legends.
Oh yeah. So anyway, I go up and we check and it's real. They hung her because they thought she was doing witchcraft and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually buried a stump on top of her grave. That's how paranoid is.
Well, why did they do that?
Because I don't know. Apparently, back then they thought if you put a stump up top of a dead person, the witch can't do any more.
They can't get out of the roots.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go there. I'm like, oh, okay. But this is back before, now they have no visitors after dark. But this was before there were signs up. So I took my spirit box down there, a couple of buddies, and we started investigating. Which we have those dowsing rods also.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Those things were just bouncing, which really hasn't happened before.
Mm.
So we get down there, and I'm like, all right. My buddy Brian, he gave across the sticks. I was getting the box set up at the moment, but across the sticks, he's like, make sure you warn us if anything's bad going to happen to us.
Mm.
So I get the box all fired up, and so I get fired up, and we ask the same question again. And I said, "Is there any spirits here that want to want to talk?"
Yeah.
So it says, "Yeah, Carl." We'll say the spirit said his name was.
Okay.
We get Carl, says, "My name's Carl." I'm like, "Can you give us a warning if something's bad's going to happen to us?" And it said, "Yes."
So you first made contact with a good spirit.
Correct.
Okay.
So we go, and we're just walking along the road, working our way up in the cemetery. And all of a sudden, some weird stuff was gonna happen. Was happening. We all got goosebumps, felt like we were being watched, which we thought we were getting paranoid.
Right.
Which we never captured any voices across the spirit box.
Mm-hmm.
But so we go up the road, and all of a sudden, the sticks started spinning, both of them at the same time in opposite directions.
Oh wow!
Which due to the people think that means bad stuff's gonna happen, evil spirits present. So we all start freaking out because we were messing around with the sticks for a few months at this time and never happened before. So we go up there and they start spinning, and simultaneously, Brian felt something go through his chest, and I had something hit me in the neck. It's like it shot through him, hit me same time. There was no 5-second delay, no 3-second delay. Literally at the same time, we both get hit.
Now, what did that feel like? Was it like like you got shocked by something, or you got like hit and then you just tensed up, or
it's almost like electric stab, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand.
So that happened. So we all back out. We back up a little bit. We go back to the parking lot. We're like, all right, we're gonna go in from the bottom side this time.
Mm-hmm.
So we get down there, not really catching much. We hear a couple voices like saying hello, hello, like just nothing, no really big EVPs or anything,
right,
or anything across the box. But we go in. We're probably about 8 to 9 rows deep in the cemetery, and my buddies over there with sticks, like asking questions and stuff. And next thing I know, I saw him. He left his feet and probably launched back 10 to 15 feet.
Are you serious?
And landed on his back.
Seriously?
Yeah, like
he got thrown by something.
Yeah, like to this day, like there's no way you could even fake that because he like launched like a good distance.
Oh, no way.
Landed right on his back, and he's like, run. So we ran. Wow. We ran, got to the vehicles. We're like, we asked across the sticks and the box, are we safe now? They said yes. And that's basically the only time we visited that place.
Right.
But
no, I know you invited me to go to that place once before, and I said, no way, dude. I'm not going to be messing around with a dark witch.
Yeah, which at that point we were just down there because we're like, okay, we don't know if this is folklore.
Right.
But like, I know I'm an amateur, but I can almost confirm that like something weird is going on there.
Yeah, I mean, the guy got thrown, like you said, 8 to 10 feet off his feet. I mean, how big of a dude is he? Like 100
He's probably
90 pounds, 200 pounds, or what?
Oh, yeah. Probably around 210, 220.
Okay, so he's a big dude.
Yeah, there's zero way that
he could get thrown like that without a supernatural power.
Yeah, which I saw it all happen, and I have no explanation for it.
That's crazy, man.
It isn't like he jumped to flop it.
Yeah, and he didn't just like collapse to his feet, you know.
Yeah, like I don't know. I take this stuff seriously anytime, and he does too. So, like, I don't know. I have zero explanation for what happened there.
Yeah,
but
that's crazy.
Actually, so we get back, we get to the parking lot,
and
he's like, "My back's burning." Wow. So we go up, and he's like, "Check my back." So we lift his shirt up, 3 scratch marks right across his neck.
Really?
Yeah.
That's taunting right there from the spirit.
I agree.
That's the 3 marks of I forget what it's called. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I actually took a picture and I got the 3 scratch marks on my phone. Like I documented.
That's amazing.
That. And it's just wild. Like, yeah, again, no explanation for any of that. We don't know if it happened whenever we were walking up the road or with that whole throwing encounter, but
well, no, I mean,
you could definitely see 3 clear-cut scratches.
And he was scared. He's like, run.
Yeah, and he's like, run.
Yes.
But yeah, that was the encounter with the witch.
He felt a dark entity attack him.
Right.
He got thrown, and then he had scratches on his back. Which is correct. I mean, any TV show you watch on ghost hunting, those 3 scratches are taunting of the Trinity.
Correct. I think yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you are correct. Yes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's an amazing story, dude.
Yeah, I still have zero explanation to this.
And you want to take me up there one day? And like I told you, no, dude. Like you're like, let's go up to that cemetery with I'm like, no, I'm not going up there messing around with the witch, dude.
But yeah, after that encounter, for like a month, I was like sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that dark entity probably attached herself to you, the witch.
I'm not too sure about that. I think we just got affected by it so much because it's so powerful.
Right.
that it's just
That's
like
amazing.
it's like, hey, listen here, you son of a bitch, you ain't coming back.
Mm-hmm. And come on back,
But
and we'll just mess you up again.
yeah, like I don't know, like I even refused to go there, like during the daytime.
Yeah.
After that experience.
Now, did you actually see the grave with the stump?
During the daytime, since I grew up there my entire life, I did see it before, but I did not make. We were on our way up there, but I think they knew, like it knew what we were doing, and we did not arrive at the stump.
Okay, so but do they have an actual stone up for her, or is it just a stump for the witch?
It's just a stump wrapped with a boat anchor.
Really?
Yes. And
So,
apparently,
what year? What year do you think, like, the witch was like
I'd say probably
killed
1700,
or whatever?
1800s. It was definitely
1800.
like, yeah, it was. It's definitely old.
Yeah, because what was the same witch hunts were what, like 16, 1700s.
Yeah.
So, but this is in like our area, maybe 100, like 100 years later in the 1800s. And I know
Right.
where you live, and it's a very old city,
Yeah.
town, whatever you want
Then
to call it.
then it was very odd because there's apparently another witch in Mercer that practices it nowadays.
Yeah.
And one
Well,
night,
nowadays they call it Wiccan.
yeah, we saw her and she was like staring at us, giving us very
Really?
yes. It's very
That's
odd. It's very, I don't know if I was just paranoid, but it's definitely odd. Like, why is the
well.
witch of the town staring like she knows what's going on?
So this modern witch today, do you think she's like a witch devil worshiper type of thing, or
See, I'm not really
like
too sure. Like,
yeah,
because I've only seen her once.
yeah? Because nowadays, like they call themselves Wiccans, and they're all about nature, but witches are about evil.
Right.
You know,
I don't think, but I think it could have also been me just being paranoid because this was like 2 months later.
well, I don't blame you for being paranoid. I mean, that's crazy.
But do you have any stories to share?
Yeah, I got a couple. Dude, I got a lot before I even became an amateur paranormal investigator. I started buying equipment about 2 years ago. I got a spirit box, and I got what am I called? Not an EKG, that's Ghostbusters, but
EKGs are like a hospital.
yeah, and I got all these like equipment, but I've had some interesting stuff in my own home. And it's a brand new house that just got built. We got it built in July 30th, 2 years ago. So what, 2019?
Yes,
We
that'd be
moved
correct.
in, and I pull out the spirit box. I'm in my kitchen, my own kitchen, brand new home, old land though, it's old farmland. And the old farmer actually still drives around the complex home I live in. But I'm just like in there, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I always get a female for some reason. And I'm like, I drink beer. I drink alcohol, Jim Beam. But this spirit, clear as day, on my spirit box says Pilsner beer. That's my favorite.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the hell is Pilsner beer? But I drink Miller Lite. It's made by Pilsner beer.
Yeah, it says Pilsner right on it. That's all.
It
That's
does.
crazy.
And then even growing up as a kid, like I was probably about 22 years old. I took my cousins out camping. They're like 16. They were 16 and 14 at the time. And we were at a place called Gamble Hollow. And we heard a bunch of dogs barking one night. And I said, don't worry about it. It's just the neighbor's dogs barking. But all of a sudden, we hear hoof prints and wagon wheels coming down the gravelly road. And it freaked us out, dude.
Oh, I bet.
I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like we took off. We left our tent and everything and took off. And oh, dude, I got so many stories. It's unbelievable. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, I have a bunch of small ones.
I do too. I mean, this is before I was even like an amateur ghost hunter.
Right.
But I believe in spirits. I mean, my grandma's house is 200 and, at the time in the 80s, because I was born in 78, in the 80s, the house was 250 years old. So what would it be now, like 280?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And it was an old mining home that my grandfather had like bought property on, like a farm, little farm. We had pigs and a couple cows and chickens and stuff like that they would butcher every year. But my grandma was attacked inside her own home by a dark entity, choked and thrown down to the ground.
Oh, wow.
And this is back in 1986, 87.
Which that's before the whole ghost hunting thing really took off.
Oh, yeah, big time.
On television.
Way before. And she actually had a group of women that my dad's a preacher, if you didn't know.
Right.
But my dad actually used to make fun of them because it was my Grandma Jan, a woman named Mrs. T, like Mr. T, but we call her Mrs. T.
Yeah.
And then some other woman, I can't remember her name, but they used to do exorcisms in this house.
Oh, wow.
To get rid of the demons. And my dad used to make fun and call them the Ghostbusters because that's when the movie was out,
right.
Like 1984. But they came in and, yeah, dude, like it was. And my grandpa, when he lived in New Jersey with my dad before they moved here in Pennsylvania, when my dad was a senior, his grandmother was a witch. And she cursed him because he said, "Go F off, Grandma."
Oh, man, that's one thing you don't want to do it to a witch right
No,
there.
not to your grandmother anyway.
Yeah,
or your mother.
True. Yeah, don't want to tell you that to your grandma.
Yeah, and she said, "You know what? His name was Dwayne, just like my dad. You will never, I'm going to curse you. You will never do anything in your life to make money. You will be poor the rest of your life. You're not going to amount to anything." And he never did. He was laid off. He was like on welfare his whole life. But when he lived in Jersey, he heard like a lion roar, like a growl, like, "Wah,"
Yeah.
And he heard the same growl at the farmhouse when he moved to PA. So whatever demon that she possessed him, like cursed him with, followed him his entire life.
Wow. That's wild right there.
It is crazy, dude.
I'm trying to think if I got any. So I do have a story to add on.
Okay.
This is a short one, but it's pretty interesting. So, my uncle was up here visiting, and we were doing just a spirit box because he kind of believes in them because he lives down in he's lived in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Oh, he's a Southern boy.
All about the like the Revolutionary War area. So he was telling me one night, he was laying in bed and he was like looking up and he looked over and he saw somebody wearing like a Revolutionary War hat.
Oh, wow.
They built those houses right across the battle. Like the whole area was a battlefield.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They were fighting every yard and field they could.
Right. Like, so I'd say probably 99.9% chance there was some sort of battle that took place.
Yeah.
So he said, like, okay, so I'd break out the box. I was telling him all about it and sticks and stuff. We were getting kind of like, mixed reviews on the sticks.
Right.
But like we break out the box. and we're like, is there any spirits here that want to like communicate with us and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what it said, but it said something like maybe George or John, like an older name.
Right.
Where somebody's name would be during Revolutionary War.
Right. John, Luke, George, Paul, whatever.
Yeah.
They were all pretty.
They're all the same, to be honest with you. But so we like pull it up and be like, are you following him from like the battlefield? And it said yes.
You said following?
Yeah, like following him around.
Yeah, they got shot.
So then I asked, how old are you? And it said 19.
Oh wow.
Which I'm just like, oh my god, like
young
this
kid.
Is kind of young kid, like died to make our independence.
Mm-hmm.
So we just keep on going. I keep on going with it, and I ask like, why do you follow him? And it's like protection.
Oh wow.
So yeah, like that's basically like I thought that was wild.
So like this revolution spirit that passed, he was fallen in battle, but he was still there to protect.
Yeah, like
that was his job, probably.
Yeah, he's like protecting from like evil entities or something, or he like follows them around.
Evil entities, or even like the British. I mean, I'm just putting it out there, but
yeah, because if his house is where he died or somewhere, he can't really escape. Then he's kind of like
he's on guard duty.
Yeah. So I thought that was wild. Like you could even tell like he's like the spirit spoke like with
clear words and everything.
Clear words, and you could tell
whole sentences.
You could tell it was not modern.
Yeah, and it was a smart entity too, because it was answering your questions.
Right.
Like you asked a question and it replied with an answer.
But then we were like,
it's not what's that called? Residual. Where they just keep repeating their lives over. This is a smart spirit that still knows what's going on, probably.
Right. So then we start asking questions, and my uncle's like, "Are you the spirit I saw that one night?" And it's like, yes. It said yes.
Wow.
I thought that was wild too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, dude.
Like it's hard to say. Like, is this? I believe it because.
Well, I think you told me this story before, and you said thank you for your service, and it said you're welcome, and then you were done with the whole session.
Yeah, I said I really appreciate what you did.
Yeah,
like sacrificing your life for like the country we have today. Yeah, and it basically said you're welcome.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I kind of got like a little emotional over it because I thought that was real sad.
Oh, definitely.
But I got another one here about
all right, go ahead.
war ones. So up in the same town, we have like a Vietnam memorial.
Yeah,
and a World War II memorial.
Is that up by the courthouse?
Yes.
No, so, I think they have Civil War statues up there too.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Okay.
So we all take this stuff very seriously. So we didn't mean no disrespect.
Definitely not.
But so we go, and we start like doing spirit box sections on, like we'd place the box on the memorial.
Yeah.
World War II one, we got like bits and pieces, nothing you could really like make out.
Right.
So then we go each one, nothing. We'd place it on like the memorial, and it's all the names of the people from that town that died.
Right.
In the battle. We were like, what's your name? Nothing really lined up. So then we get to the Vietnam memorial. And next thing you know, like it says, leave us alone, leave us alone.
Oh.
Like, leave us alone. So
because they got disgraced when they came back, probably.
Right. Yeah. Like, so I'm like, I'm sorry how people treated you when you came back, but I just want to know I really appreciate for your service.
Definitely.
It said, you're welcome. Thank you.
Oh wow.
Not a single voice came across after that.
Yeah. Well, they got treated like crap.
Yeah.
And the soldiers did too,
Yeah. I like how everybody acted like those people wanted to go over there. Most of them were drafted.
No, they were all drafted.
Yeah, and they didn't even really want to go over there in the first place, but they did what they had to do.
They served their country just like they did in World War I, World War II, Korea. They served their country.
Yeah, it's not them who decide if they want to go fight. Like, they got forced into it. They did what they like any American should do in that time.
Exactly.
You go support your country.
Yep.
And then you have the freaking hippies spitting on people and
calling
them baby
killers.
Yeah, like,
and they weren't like, it wasn't like that, dude. The media made it like that.
Right.
But
here you just have like an average Joe just going over there doing his duty.
He just turned 18, 17, and they shipped him out to a foreign country that he knew nothing about, didn't even know he even existed.
Yeah.
Like, I watched a lot of like documentaries about Vietnam, and like a lot of these guys like, what's Vietnam? Where the hell is that at?
Yeah, they're like, what?
Yeah, and they're like, well, it's a country in Southeast Asia, and you're going there. Okay.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I feel I respect those guys. I respect all servicemen. Don't get me wrong. But I really respect those Vietnam guys that did what they did. Like, my father-in-law was in the Air Force, and he served in the Air Force in Vietnam in 72 maybe. And his job is, he kept the planes running, but the planes that he kept running were also bringing the dead home to America.
Oh wow. That'd be a sad job.
Like, they pack the body bags up, and that was part of his job. And then he'd ship them home, And a lot of people think about the Air Force. Oh, it's the Air Force. They didn't do nothing, but they did a lot. Those guys saw a lot. So did the Marines and the Army and Navy and everything,
Yeah, which the Air Force was the ones that shipped all the guys that died home. Like,
yep.
But yeah, that would I don't know.
It's just pretty amazing, dude. I love all those. I love all soldiers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All military men are
like those Vietnam guys. Really, first time you get to fight without like support.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those guys were just like, you'd get dropped off in a Huey helicopter.
And then you're left there for like 3 or 4 days before they come back and get you.
Yeah, you have like no tanks,
nope,
air support.
It's all grunt work through the jungle, and I used to go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was like, really, the only thing that like America's experienced before like was the Pacific.
Your front lines.
World War II.
Front lines. Yeah, that was the first war without front line.
Yeah, like, and then the only thing you can like compare it to is the Pacific War and World War II. But really, that's like, it's really not similar at all.
It's a little bit like you're saying, it's similar, but they're like, even in the Pacific, they have front lines.
Right.
We're taking this island that's a mile wide, but the front lines are half a mile from each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
A little bit of guerrilla warfare, but definitely Vietnam was guerrilla.
Yeah, like at least in World War II, you could get like armor and air support.
And you can see your enemy that you're shooting at.
Yeah, and then like at least the ships can bomb the place. I mean, those guys in Vietnam were kind of like, they're out there by themselves.
Yep. All right, we'll be back in like 3 or 4 days to pick you up. What?
Yeah.
And I know you probably watched a lot of documentaries, but you look at these guys, they're 19, 20 years old, but they look like they're in their 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would stress you out pretty quick.
Yeah, they just graduated high school and they got to go to war.
My grandpa was in the Army. he doesn't really talk about that much, but the one thing he said was he would dig their foxholes and like sit there at night.
Yeah.
He'd be the guy that places like the Claymore mines
Right.
out. And he's like,
Out on the
you're literally
perimeter.
sitting there. He's like, you're just sitting there, dude, in your foxhole, trying to
Boom.
look, pitch blackout, and you just hear kaboom.
All right, they're coming, boys.
Yeah, there's like 50 yards from you. He's like, most of the time the firefight didn't even come out, but he's like 50 yards, dude. Like, in some places you can see it, but you just hear the bomb go off, and you're like, oh, got one.
I used to go to a place in Indiana County, PA. It was called Bunker One. And he sold old surplus shit. Stuff. Sorry. This war. But I used to go up there like 3-4 times a week just to listen. He was a Marine in Vietnam. The guy that had this store.
Right.
And I just listened to his stories. Like, he goes, you know what a firefight was like in Vietnam as a Marine? I'm like, no, I couldn't even imagine. He goes, you're walking through the jungle. You can see about 2 feet in front of you because the foliage is so thick. Then you'd hear that AK go off. Bop, 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 the 3-round burst. You'd hit the ground. He said you'd fire back and run. Like, you unload a clip and run. Like, it was like a 20-second firefight, and both sides would just run.
Yeah, I did see that. Like, half the time they'd shoot at you.
Yeah,
you miss,
you unload a clip and you're done.
Yeah, you're like, one buddy goes down or he misses.
Yeah.
You literally just don't even aim, dude, because you have no idea where it came from. You just fire and then you get the hell out of there.
Yep, because you can't see them.
Yeah.
He said he never saw one enemy personnel at all.
Wow.
And he spent a year in Vietnam.
Was he over there? He spent a year over there.
Yep, as a Marine. And he got hit with shrapnel, a grenade. And this is in, like, my mom used to take me up there even as a kid. That's why I first started, like, going up there.
Right.
So, like, 1988, my mom took me up there, I think, for the first time. And I bought an old Vietnam helmet style. The old steel pot that was, like, rolled over from World War II for, like, $5.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, as, like, when I got my driver's license, I used to go up there, like, 3-4 days a week. And then in my 20s, and then he finally closed down because no one's buying surplus no more. But just sitting up there listening to his story, I actually went out camping with him one time and his other old Vietnam buddy who was kind of nuts. And I can't believe my parents actually let me go, dude. I was like 15 years old. But being up there so much over like 5 or 6 years, they trusted him. You know what I mean? So He took me out camping, and he showed me survival skills that he learned, but he got hit with shrapnel. And I'm going to say even like 15 years after I met him, every year he had to go get shrapnel taken out of his body.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because it would start like your natural body starts pushing unnatural things out of your body. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like his body would start pushing the shrapnel out, and he had to go to a doctor every year to get it removed. And he was in there in 1974, 75, whatever. So think about it. 20 years later, he's still getting shrapnel taken out of his body. That's nuts.
That's insane to even think about.
That's really nuts, dude. And God bless them all.
I agree.
That's all I gotta say. No military personnel should be treated like crap.
Yeah, like I like looking back, I'm only 24.
Yeah.
But like I grew up the post 9/11.
Right.
So like I remember like them talk about this in school. Like the post 9/11 thing is like a tragedy struck. So then it kind of like reminds you of pro-military. You support the military,
right?
Like I don't know. Me, I couldn't imagine like living in a world where people are disrespecting the military. If that makes sense.
It wasn't. I understand what you're saying, but it wasn't people like us.
Right.
I don't even want to go there right now because I'm just gonna get fumed. It's kind of like what's happening.
You know what I'm trying to say.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm trying to. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I don't know what a world's like to live through that where people disrespect the military.
Well, what year were you born, Shane?
96.
96. So 2001, you were 7. 6 years old.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't know if you can remember after like post 9/11 when that happened. There was American freaking flags everywhere.
Oh yeah, I remember. I've watched
every house had it. Every car had them flying off their car.
I couldn't like. Then the sports, like you have baseball.
Yeah. What happened?
Football. Like now everybody hates the American flag.
Yeah,
like
they do. Oh, I don't know if I even want to go there because I'm just going to get fired up.
Yeah, but
I just remember it was so beautiful seeing every home, every car have an American flag flying off it. That red, white, and blue was the most beautiful thing I've ever saw in my life after 9/11. We were united as a freaking country for like 6 months. 6 to 9 months, and then it just went to hell.
I don't know where it all went wrong.
I don't either. Why aren't we united now? We need to be united as a country.
United we stand, divided we fall.
Exactly. You know, it's kind of funny. When I was a kid, my high school was called United Lions. Okay?
Right.
We had a lion for a mascot. We wore blue and white uniforms in football. And I always thought as a kid, because we had a rival school called the Laurel Valley Rams, and they were red and white. And I always thought, united we stand, Laurel Valley we fall. Like, I never got it as a kid, like, united we stand, divided we fall.
Right.
I always thought it was like, united we stand, Laurel Valley we fall. And I could tell you a story about that, Laurel Valley High School, but I'm not going to tell it to you. I'll tell you about it on the phone when we talk, but I'm not going to do it on the podcast.
All right.
It just happened to be with people with white clothing.
Oh God.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But that could be another podcast later on.
Yeah, it could be. I'm debating on setting up a Facebook, Instagram page for all of our listeners. Maybe like submit ideas that they want us to talk about or ask us questions.
Definitely.
Which,
not speaking of that, but real quick, dude, I know you like metal detecting too, right?
Oh yeah, I got a metal detector.
Yeah, and I got one, and I found out the other day my uncle got one, and he's living on an old farm, a pig farm, and he wants to metal detect it. I'm like, dude, I got a metal detector too. Let's do it. I'm like, this place could be like 200 years. He's like, it's old. I'm like, we can find some old Revolution coins probably. There could have been a battle there because it's on Washington's Trail. You know what I mean?
There could have been.
Yeah. And he's like, I bought a metal detector. I'm like, all right, well, let's metal detect.
What kind of metal detector did he buy?
He's got a Garrett.
Oh, the Garrett's are one of the
Yeah.
That's what I'm spawned. Like
His is better than mine. I didn't see it. I'm gonna ask to look at it, but he said he paid like $250 for it. I think I paid like $190 for my Garrett. He's like, but he calls me Jake. He's like, Jake, this thing like tells you like it'll ding and be like, it's a coin. I'm like, yeah, mine does that too. You know.
The best thing that I ran into with metal detecting is there's one of those pinpointers. Like
I gotta buy one.
Have to have,
oh shit! I should have bought one tonight, but I bought a fishing curl instead, like an old wicker basket one.
Yeah.
And the person wanted $25 for it, and I offered 20, and they accepted. So apparently, I bought a fishing curl tonight without knowing. You know.
I actually have one of those down here in my basement. That was my Paps.
Oh, the cherry shot.
Yeah, like I have a bunch of old fishing poles and stuff.
Nice. But yeah, we should. We got a podcast like live metal detecting one time. Podcast ghost hunting.
Yeah, we could do. Heck, maybe we can make a YouTube channel and like show metal detecting.
Metal detecting, ghost hunting, just everything, man. Like, I ghost hunted my uncle's old farmhouse one time with his son last year.
Yeah.
And down in his basement, there's an old piano down there, which is weird. And I went in there with my spirit box and with my cousin. He's 13 now. So he was 12 last year. And I'm like, hey, is there any spirits that want to talk to us? And a woman comes through, yeah. And I'm like, okay, what do you want to say? And she's like, what did it say? I'll talk or something like that. Well, he got so freaked out, he won't even go down to the basement. Not back by the piano.
I hate to tell him it's probably like not due to the basement.
No, it's not.
Like
it's the piano.
Piano, or whenever you open up the spirit world to communicate.
Oh yeah, you can bring anything in anywhere you want. You just got to be open to it, you know.
Yeah, right.
And then when you actually like, even if you're not open to it, as long you pull out one piece of equipment and start asking questions, now you just open yourself up to it.
Right.
You know. So I talked to my brother tonight. He said he's willing to come in for like a 15-minute interview one time.
Yeah.
About his toy collection and his YouTube. So he's open to that, but he said he can't. He's got so much going on, dude. He can't
commit like a full hour or 2 hours.
Right, exactly.
Which, hey, if you guys are wondering, 80 Toys rock.
No, 80s Toys definitely rocks, dude. And that's with ROC.
ROC.
Thrift gods be good to me today. That's my favorite part.
So did you, speaking of toys, did you end up getting any more Black Series figures? Or?
I did not. I picked up a 3.75-inch Han Solo. For $1.50 on eBay. But it wasn't the one I thought it was. I thought it was a young Solo because I got the young Solo speeder from the Solo movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, there he is. The 3.7-inch Force Awakens. Bid, $1.50. Won the bid. $4 shipping. I mean, it's only $5, but it's actually old Han from the Force Awakens.
I ended up, I don't know if I told you this, but I'll tell the viewers. I pre-ordered one of those Darth Maul, the anniversary editions. that they have. It's like a throwback one. The 50th anniversary Darth Maul. What's that?
Is that new or?
Yeah, it's coming out here. I think either June or October. I know one of them's coming in October. That might be the other Bad Batch character.
Yeah, because my brother just sent me. Well, when he sent that speeder, he sent me a Darth Maul from 2002, and he has a double lightsaber you put in his hand. But I don't know. I haven't opened it. It's not out of the box yet, which I don't know if I want to open.
What if that's from the?
It'll like
what's
swivel.
That movie called?
Like you hit something and it swivels.
Wonder if that's from the Phantom's Menace movie whenever it was released.
Yeah, probably from. Well, let me see. 1999, 98, Phantom Menace came out.
All right, so then the Clone Wars would.
Yeah, 2000, maybe the Clone Wars. 2002 was Revenge of the
2000. No, 2005 was Revenge of the Sith. I know that for sure.
Well, because that's your favorite movie,
right?
Yeah, you're a big Anakin fan.
Yeah, dude, I love Anakin.
Dude, see, I don't know why I hate Anakin Skywalker.
Why?
Well, I think because of the Phantom Menace. Like him as a kid, just like he was a bad actor, and it just annoyed the crap out
of him. I feel like Revenge of the Sith really saved that character, and
it did. I mean, it's not really, the same guy.
You have to watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Well, Clone Wars and then Revenge of the Sith is the same actor that played Anakin. But that young kid just annoyed the crap out of me, dude, because he was such a bad actor. And then, and then Clone Wars, like Padme's like 24, and she's hooking up with a 16-year-old Anakin. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But in my opinion, Episode 1 sucked. Episode 2 was lead up, but then Episode 3, like, they didn't really cover the whole Clone Wars. Dude.
There's a couple things I like on Phantom Menace, like the beginning, like the ambassadors are here. I think they're Jedi.
Yeah.
With Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi as a pattern.
But you have to watch the Star Wars: The Clone Wars to fill in that backstory.
I know.
If you just watch 1, 2, and 3, I mean, yeah, it covers the main storyline, dude. But there's so many other things, and there's so many other storylines. From the Clone Wars.
And the Clone Wars on Disney Plus, which is actually a really good app to get. Disney Plus is a good app to get.
We're not sponsored by Disney Plus.
Well, they have Soko. I lost my that Soko chick.
Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, Ahsoka Tano. Her key roles. They have episodes you can watch about her key roles on what happened during the Clone Wars.
I did realize that.
Yeah, you can watch separate episodes.
Which, if you did not watch the Clone Wars,
I have. I watched like 8 episodes, like the first 8. The last one I watched, they were on an island with these like little tiny people, and then the Empire came, and like they were gonna attack these people. And then like Anakin got like knocked out for like days.
In my opinion, Ahsoka Tano is one of the most underrated characters in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because if you watch,
she's one of the only ones that lived through Order 66.
Right, because she left the Jedi Order.
Yeah. Her and Obi-Wan and Yoda are like the only ones that live.
Yeah. It's just wild, like, how many storylines they got going and what they could do.
And then the Rebels, I guess that's actually like Star Wars Rebels is one of the top rated shows right now. On Disney.
I just finished watching that about a month ago, and it was very, very good.
Star Wars Rebels?
Yeah, I completed watching that.
Because when I talked to you before, you said it kind of sucked.
It did kind of suck.
But you got into it.
Yeah, but then I finally got into it. The storyline's good. I just didn't like the cartoon animation.
Right, too cartoony, yeah.
Too cartoony. I liked how they did the Clone Wars, if that makes sense.
Well,
I don't know why.
They're more computer. I understand what you're saying, but I felt the same way about the Clone Wars. Too cartoony. But then when I watched one episode of Rebels, I'm like, this is really cartoony.
Yeah. But the story's good on it. I don't really want to go too much into it because I don't really want to spoil it if anybody's watching.
Right. Well, spoiler alert, who cares? They're on 6 seasons, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in season 1, episode 8.
Which each season of the Rebels is 1 year.
Yeah.
So it leads you right up to, what does it lead you up to? I think Rogue One is what Rebels leads you up to.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Which
because if you actually go on Disney Plus and watch just the movies, like the real people movies, it's Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, Solo, Rogue One, New Hope, which is the original movie. Episode 4 is New Hope. That's 1977.
Yeah.
And then it has Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and then the latest movies, The Force Awakens.
Okay, so I just looked it up here. So you got episode 1, episode 2, then you got Star Wars The Clone Wars, season 1, episode 1 through season 7, episode 9.
Oh, wow.
Then it goes Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Then it goes season 7, episode 10 through 12. Han Solo.
Right.
Then it goes Star Wars Rebels, Rogue One.
So I gotta watch Star Wars Rebels to get to Rogue One.
Yes, that's in between Solo and
Rogue One.
Yes. So then it goes A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Mandalorian, then the new trilogy.
Right. Now we're gonna have Kenobi. Then we're gonna have Darth Vader. Disney's doing that.
I hope Disney does it so, like, whenever you're done watching one, the new season of the other starts. So you can always constantly watch Star Wars.
Well, Kenobi's only going to be 6 episodes from what I heard. 1 season, 6 episodes.
What are they filling in on? Are they filling on after Order 66? And
yes, and then Obi-Wan goes to Tatooine.
Which they did that in the Rebels.
Well, he exiles himself to Tatooine to watch over Luke growing up as a baby.
Yeah, but I don't know if I should say a spoiler or not.
Go ahead.
So, spoiler alert, in Star Wars Rebels, the one kid leads Darth Maul to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Cut now.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi starts with his fighting style.
Yeah.
Then he breaks into, what's that one guy's name from episode 1 that you like? Quin Jinn or whatever his name is?
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah. He goes to his.
Well, he was his mentor. He was his teacher.
Yeah, remember whenever Obi-Wan saw Darth Maul go down and they thought he killed him?
Yeah. Well, he cut him.
He goes Qui-Gon fighting stance.
Yeah.
Darth Maul does the same move he tried on him in episode 1.
That was my favorite part in that whole. I'm not gonna lie to you, Shane. Me and my buddy went to that movie when it came out 15 times to watch it.
Wow.
Because our favorite part was when Qui-Gon was fighting Darth Maul, and then they had those weird shields that came down that Obi-Wan couldn't get through, and he's watching his master fight Darth Maul, and then he gets struck down. And then they start playing that music dun, dun, dun. And then Obi-Wan just comes in and screws him up.
Yeah, but he does the same exact move.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon does. And then so Darth Maul tries the same exact move he tried to get Qui-Gon with.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi strikes him down and kills him, dude.
Well, I got a question about
if you don't pay attention, People missed that in that movie, in that TV show.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a throwback to episode 1
right.
and what happened.
No, that's
like,
in
it's
Rebels?
just like a little Easter egg. Yeah, that was in Star Wars Rebels, the last season that happened.
And they only made 1 season so far, right?
No, that one's completed.
Oh, how many seasons?
6.
Clone Wars or Rebels?
Rebels.
Okay. Because here's what got me confused too. Qui-Gon Jinn was Obi-Wan Kenobi's mentor.
Right.
But then, like, in the earlier movies from like the 70s and 80s, Obi-Wan learned from Yoda. Yoda was Obi-Wan's master. But maybe, I mean, if we look at books and comics...
Remember he got killed early, though.
Yeah, and he was still a Padawan. He wasn't a Master Jedi yet.
Yeah, his master got struck down.
Yeah, so maybe Yoda took over to finish his training.
Yes, because then he was on Jedi Council.
Yes.
And I think that's why he has the end on the Jedi Council.
Here's another thing that's funny, too, Shane. I don't know if you noticed. Like, when Anakin was, in Phantom Menace, he was, 7 years old, 8?
Yeah.
And Yoda says, he's too old to train. But then Luke Skywalker's 20, 17 years old, and they train him to be a Jedi.
Because he was the last one, dude.
Yeah, that's true. But then he only hung out for 2 weeks and ain't left, and so I'm a Jedi now.
Yeah, then he goes out on his little rant, and Yoda gets pissed off at him.
And then Yoda dies.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. You just stressed out the old...
Yeah, the old 500, 900-year-old Jedi.
Yeah, he stressed him out. I think Luke Skywalker killed Yoda, dude.
He
stressed him out.
Yeah.
He stressed him out, dude. You can't be... That old heart can't be taken.
Because he tried to train him, and he's like, I gotta go. And he left, and he came back, and then, Yoda died.
Yeah, I was like, I want to complete my training. He's like, you're ready, dude. It's like, what the hell?
But here's what's kind of messed up, too, though. I don't know if it's because of the dark side with Darth Vader. Because Darth Vader shows up at the end of Return of the Jedi as a spirit. With Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda. Remember?
Yeah.
But Darth Vader did not, disappear like Yoda and Obi-Wan did. And then Luke did at the end of The Last Jedi. They all disappeared except Darth Vader.
He might have disappeared, but
they didn't show it in the movie.
Or due to his suit.
Well, yeah, because it was all robotic besides his torso and his head.
Yeah, so he could have disappeared, but you're not really going to really see him disappear if there's really nothing, you know?
Right.
I have no idea, but we can almost spend a whole podcast talking about Star Wars.
Oh, we could, dude. And I got these new comic books. I'm reading Kenobi comic books. I got new Star Wars comic books. I got a book, the Kenobi book it's called. I got it at Barnes & Noble in Cranberry. Let's give a shout out to a bookstore that still exists.
Yeah.
Because you don't find them too much anymore.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, I started reading it. It's actually the story they're going to be doing on Disney on this book. So if I can read the book before the episodes come out next year, I think end of this year or next year they're coming out. Mandalorian, when's that? 2020, December of 2021.
Yeah, this Christmas almost. Which, what's gonna happen with that, dude? Grogu's gone, dude. He's I hope Kylo Ren doesn't slaughter him and fucking.
Well, the theory is on that is he was such a youngling that he wasn't in the training yet. They were hiding him away.
I don't know. Me personally, I don't see Disney killing him off because he's a moneymaker.
Oh, big time.
Like, how are you going to kill him off, dude? He's making you millions.
Oh.
And millions.
Yes. Hundreds of millions.
That was like a little
they
bit
can't
of,
kill off,
the
like
Rock.
they can't kill off fucking Baby Yoda.
There's no way.
No. They're gonna find a way, but you know what? In my mind, let Kylo Ren kill him off. When Luke is training, because Luke took Baby Yoda at the last episode,
right,
for training. He's 50 years old. He's not a child.
I want to know where the hell all these other Jedi's kids come from. Like they said, oh, he slaughtered Luke Skywalker's temple.
Yeah. Only half, but then he said Kylo took half his people with him.
Yeah, like where did all these people come from?
Yeah, midichlorians.
Maybe.
They test them. See if they got the midichlorians, if they're a Jedi or not. Because Anakin had the highest even of Yoda.
That is true.
Yeah, his midichlorian count was higher than even Yoda's. And he became Darth Vader.
That is true.
His force was powerful, man. You know what I never understood though? He could feel Luke's presence, but he didn't feel Leia's presence. Like, did he even know Leia was his kid? In the first episode.
It's been a while.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, New Hope. And she sends the message, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. But I think he felt it because he didn't want to kill her, but they blew up her planet.
I don't know, but remember Emperor Palpatine, doesn't he say Luke is your son?
Yeah, but he also tells Vader, though, well, it wasn't Emperor Palpatine, it was one of the generals, take her and get, like, pretty much execute her. And then she backs up against Vader in New Hope, and he doesn't like she felt maybe it was her father, you know?
Maybe.
She backed up to him like, help me, kind of. You got to watch the movie, dude. when the general said execute her, because she ain't giving up the rebel plans, she backs up, and Vader's standing there, and she backs right up to Vader's chest. And then Vader's just like standing there. Like, he's probably like, screw you, this is my daughter.
I do like the end of Return to a Jedi. How he's like having flashbacks of himself.
Mm-hmm. Then he takes his helmet off.
Yeah.
And then he dies because he can't breathe without it.
But I think we're out of time for tonight.
That sounds good, buddy.
But hey, we'll get a Facebook page and an Instagram page made.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Shane and the Burf
podcast. See if you can send this broadcast over to me tonight. If you can't do it tonight, do it to like a couple days, but see if you can share it over to me because it's been an hour and 3 minutes.
Right.
And we went from ghost stories to Star Wars.
But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope we didn't do too bad.
I hope we didn't either. And
hope you guys do the follow. We're going to plan on doing one every week.
Yep.
And we'd like to hear what other topics.
Oh, definitely. Give us whatever topics you want to hear about. You want to hear ghosts, UFOs, conspiracy theories, government, Star Wars toys, or whatever. Just
anything, dude. We're open to. We can bullshit about anything you want.
Yep, we can talk about it. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening.
If you guys made it through the whole thing, thanks a lot.
Give us a like, shout out, and share it to your friends.
But we're going to make another episode next Monday, so I don't know. It's either going to be uploaded on either Tuesday or Wednesday, I imagine.
I'm hoping so.